with y'all. Y'all already know, another morning, another discussion, another read. So we gonna get into it. But as I want to say, thank y'all for showing up and being here. And y'all already know, it's reading weed with CallMeKidd. And so the first thing that we gotta do, y'all already know, we gotta roll up the weed. So let's get prepared on that. Let's start rolling it up, and then we gonna, get to that book. Check it out. So come on. I know my tray nasty, y'all, but it's all good. You know what I mean? Don't even trip. I'm gonna get that right. What's up with y'all? Reading weed. All right, so we're gonna get into this read by Marisha Pessel. You don't see that? Marisha Pessel. It's called Film. Film by Marisha. Night Film, actually. Um, Night Film by Marisha Pessel. And so it's a little insight. It's about, it says a beautiful young Ashley Cordova is found dead in her apartment in warehouse, Lower Manhattan, in the abandoned warehouse. Though her death is ruled suicide, veteran investigative journalist Scott McGrath suspects otherwise as he probes the strange circumstances surrounding Ashley's life and death. McGrath comes face to face with the legacy of her father, the legendary reclusive cult horror film director Stanislaus Cordova, a man who hasn't been seen in public for more than 30 years. So, in Night Film, there's a young lady. She died in a warehouse, abandoned warehouse in Lower Manhattan, as it says. And so, I guess a journalist, investigator is kind of like, he don't think that it's suicide. He think that somebody else got something to do with it. Somebody else is obviously into it. But so this is just a little bit of briefing. It's what we're gonna check out. Night Film right now for y'all, and y'all already know. So I'm gonna just get up in here, and you know what I mean. Check it out real quick. So come on, that's just a little bit of what it's about, and come on, let's get to it. Y'all already know we about to get in here. Y'all already know I'm gonna skim through it just a little bit, but y'all already know it's Night Film. Here we go. Well, I already know what it's kind of about. I've been into it, but y'all, these images is wild. These images is kind of like lit. You know what I mean? However they did this, how Marisha did this, created this book with all the information and insight on it. It's crazy photography, man. Crazy photography, like all throughout the book. It's pretty dope. I like it. I like how she did it. Pages are black. Just show y'all a little bit, cause y'all, we not gonna go through it all, but she didn't play. Marisha Pessel didn't play with this book. She did, not even a little bit. But let's see what is interesting for y'all. And I've been liking, y'all been DMing me too. Y'all been DMing me, letting me know about the reads. I've gotten an email also. So shout out to y'all. You know what I mean? Like, that's major. That's major. I'm rocking with that. Okay, so I guess I found something. So it's just just a little bit of chapter in here. So we just on enchantments. It's right here if y'all see that. So I'm gonna just go in here and just start, you know what I mean, just get into it a little bit. So y'all can just check it out. But come on with me. This is Night Film by Marisha Pessel. So let's do it. Oh, hold on, not just yet. Now we can do it. You know what I mean? I gotta get my buzz right. Gotta get my buzz right. On its website, Enchantments called itself New York City's oldest and largest witchcraft and goddess supply store. We climbed out of the cab, heading down front steps encrusted with dead leaves and cigarette butts, stepping inside. Immediately, a tall, freckle-faced, orange-haired kid moved out from behind the cash register shouting, "Zero, come back here." Zero being a white Persian cat that had run toward the open door, though I closed the door before it could escape. Thanks, man, said the kid. There was an overpowering smell of incense, the ceiling low, narrow brick walls slanting inward like a corridor in an MC Escher print. They were lined with wooden shelves crammed with mystical knickknacks. In enchantment, it seemed all holy items were created equal. The store was arranged as if Christ, Buddha, Muhammad, Vishnu, plus a couple of random pageants had gotten together a hold of garage sale. Many with cauldrons and tall, grande and vente were brazenly stacked next to St. Francis, Mary, and a few Catholic saints. Beside them was much page through paperback on display. Magic, which sat next to Bible, which was beside tarot cards, sachets of potpourri called Lucan Happiness Owanga bags. A basket of carved wax crucifixes, ceramic frogs, and plastic vials of holy water on sale for $5.95. Apparently, many New Yorkers had given up on shrinks and yoga and thought, hell, let's try magic, because this store was crowded. Toward the back of a group of 30-something women was swarming around the tall bookcase, crammed with hundreds of colored candles, choosing them with a frantic intensity. I like how they described that. A tired, middle-aged man in a blue button-down. He looked alarmingly like my stockbroker, was carefully reading the directions on the back of a Ouija board. I stepped around Nora and solemn boy with the stringy brown hair paging through a pamphlet. I glanced at the title over his shoulder, Guide to Planetary and Magical Significance, and walked over to the display case. Inside were silver necklaces, pendants, and charms carved with hieroglyphics and other symbols I didn't recognize. Hanging from the ceiling above the cash register was a 5-pointed star surrounded by a circle. A pentagram, the symbol for a Satanist, if I remember correctly from my college days. Beyond that, on the back of a wall framed the 8x10 black and white headshots of men and women who had the severe expressions and dead, raising eyes of serial killers, legendary witches, and warlocks, no doubt. A small faded handwritten sign was taped beside them. We do not sell black magic supplies, so don't even ask. The orange-haired kid who chased Zero to the back of the store shuffled over to us. Need some help? Yes, said Nora, setting a book she'd been leafing through, signs, symbols, and omens. Back down on the stand, we're hoping someone can help us identify some herbs and roots that we found in strange patterns in our friend's room. He nodded, totally unsurprised, and pointed his thumb toward the back. Ask the witches on call, he said. They know everything. He said, my boy said, the witches? The witches on call. I hadn't noticed it, we'd entered. But in the back of the store, there was a wooden counter, a young Hispanic kid sitting behind it. Nora and I made our way to him. Filing around, the women fussing over the colored candles. One with frizzy hair was holding the purple and yellow and orange and green. Should I get St. Elijah and San Miguel too? She asked her friend. Don't mess this up, Nora whispered. I know you don't believe in this stuff, but it doesn't mean you can be rude. Me? What are you talking about? She shot me a look of warning before I stepped behind the young woman quietly discussing something with the Hispanic kid. He was perched on a tall stool, industrially carving into a green candle with a large hunting knife. He didn't look like a witch, but that was probably the same dim observation as a neighbor telling the evening news, old Jimmy, who lived in his mother's basement and was really seeing the daylight, didn't look like a homicidal maniac. This male, which had shaggy black hair and was wearing an army green worksman shirt, the kind popularized by Fidel Castro and Che Guevara, giving him a sort of socialist tropical authority. Cluttering the wooden counter in front of him were colored candles, sachets and herbs, bottles of oils and dark liquids, box cutters, string switchblades. On the clipboard hanging off the side of a counter by a rope was a cluster of tattooed pages. I grabbed it. Enchantments, custom carved menu, it read. Flipping through. Win at court. This candle allows you to win in all legal matters, great and small. Purple wisdom, used for overcoming obstacles, known or unknown, and prophetic decisions. It is for gaining wisdom in the ancient sciences such as astrology, hermetic magic, Pueblism, and more magical systems. Come to me. This candle works on people who are full of sexual desire and brings them together. It is a very powerful, sensual candle, and it should be used with caution. I should have come here years ago. The woman in front of us stepped aside, and we moved to the counter. Okay, I see. All right. How can I help you? The kid asked without glancing up. Nora, in a lower voice, tactfully explained why we were there, removing 2 Ziploc bags from her purse, one containing the dirt sample, the other with a cluster of roots tied together with a white string. She said, holding up the dirt sample, we need help identifying what it is and why it was put there. The kid sat down a knife, talking time, to carefully wipe his hands on the rag before taking the bags. Without opening it, he rubbed the dirt between his fingers, inspecting it under the small desk lamp in front of him. He then opened it, sniffing, blinking from the stench. He resealed it, set it down. Hopping off the stool, he grabbed a small stepladder, shoved into the corner, and set it down in front of the shelves to her right. They spanned all the way to the ceiling and were jam-packed with a row of giant glass jars filled with herbs, each one with a faded label. I stepped forward to read a few. Arrowroot, balm, gilead, bladderwrack, deer's tongue, dragon blood, chunks of 5-finger grass, high johns, the conqueror root, queen of the metal jobs tears. The kid climbed the ladder, reaching up on its tiptoes to collect a jar from the top shelf. Valerian root, read the label. He returned to the counter with it, opened the lid, using the spoon to scoop some in a dirt-like substance into his palm. He compared it to the contents of Ziploc bag. Same texture, same smell. He whispered to himself. What is it? Asked Nora. Vanderroot. What's that? I asked. In her, its magical reputation is pretty dark. Its magical reputation? He nodded, unperturbed by my skepticism. Sure. Vandal is used like a lot in black magic. Hexing, forcing love, uncrossing is kind of like coming across a gimp costume in your best friend's closet. There's no explaining that shit away. Know what I mean? I wasn't sure I did, but I nodded anyway. Alright. Knife film, y'all. This is Knife film for y'all. By Marisha Peso. So, as we say, y'all be this, we get up in there. Knife film is about a young lady that they feel it was suicide. She was died in a warehouse, Manhattan. Somebody thinks it's suicide, but then there's another person that says it's a homicide. So going all into this book, Knife Film, it's a lot that goes on. There's images. It's a real sketchy nonfiction. It's not real at all, but the storyline is amazing. I like it. I love it. And this is just something I wanted to hit y'all with. So y'all gotta go check it out. Knife Film. It's a hell of a mystery, y'all. You know what I mean? It was amazing. It was fun. This was like, it's when I read it, you know what I mean, in my daily, it's a lot that goes on. The verbal acrobatics, you know what I mean, the way that she describes the scenes, the way that the characters kind of cross paths in this book is top tier. It's amazing. And shout out to Marisha Peso, Knife Film, New York's bestseller. It's amazing. So this novel was dope, y'all, and thank y'all for coming with Reading Weed again. I appreciate y'all, and you know what I mean. We see y'all next time. You know what I mean, on Reading Weed.